I mean, I didn't wanna I didn't want to say it, but yes, it's quite possible that Google and Apple and things will move as well. The thing about these multinational corporations is they just move wherever they can make money. Fox says, I thought Tesla was losing a ton of money anyway. Didn't they just go through large layoffs? Yeah, but Fox, it's not about money, it's about technology. See, the Americans look at Tesla and it's like, oh, they're not profitable yet, therefore they're bad. Let's short their stocks. But the Chinese, they look at Tesla and they're like, alright, why don't you come here with your electric car technologies? It doesn't matter if you lose money. Let's develop some technologies. Is how the Chinese look at it. Right? And like, if you are building completely new tech the way Tesla is, yeah, there are risks. There's the risk that you will lose money because you're trying something completely new. But if you don't take that risk, then you'll fall behind in technology. I mean, you can bet that the Chinese will just give Tesla money to continue inventing stuff. Even if they lose money, just keep giving them money. Because that's the sort of investment you have to make in order to become more advanced. I mean, Fox, like that's like what you just said, like that's precisely the kind of attitude that would push Tesla to China. And in the end, it's China that will benefit from it, right? The idea that, oh, you're losing money now, therefore, haha, screw you. But Wesley says, we have a joke here in Belgium, if you think you're good at something, there will always be a Chinese person that's better at it. Well, not always. Not always, but the Chinese will learn very quickly, right? The Chinese will embrace your ideas possibly more enthusiastically than you will, and therefore they will eventually become better at it than you. I mean, Tesla was making better electric cars than the Chinese were, but now he's moved to China, so now the Chinese are gonna make the best electric cars. It's not because the Chinese figured it out, but because Tesla just moved there. Wouldn't they have figured it out though? I guess eventually they'd figure it out. But again, I'm going back to this mercantilism thing. Sometimes it's just not effective to try to be the best yourself. Sometimes it's more effective just to buy it from the guy who is the best, right? Sometimes if you try to be good at something you're not good at, sometimes it's just a waste of money. I mean, if somebody else is already doing a good job, then great, just hire them. Fox says the Chinese, when they get working on stuff, tend to make things more efficient rather than anything else, I think, says Fox. For now, Fox, for now. The Western media doesn't cover Chinese technological advances all that much. But we might see in the near future the Chinese coming up with actual cutting-edge technology. Quantum computers is something that the Chinese are working quite hard at. What else? The Chinese have also invested a lot in selective breeding of certain crops. So recently they made a salt-tolerant strain of rice that you can grow with diluted seawater, which is kind of insane. So rice production is gonna increase because now you can grow rice on land that has too much salt in it. Previously it has too much salt, but now there's salt tolerant rice. The Chinese do invent their own stuff too, Fox. 3, 4. And the thing is, you know, if someone's catching up, for a long time it will look like if you are on this trajectory and they are on like this trajectory, you know, up until they catch up, it seems like, oh, they're just catching up. But once they do catch up, the next thing you know, they'll be ahead of you. So the point where you cross from catching up to being ahead is very short, right? So there's a lot of catching up, and then afterwards there's a lot of them being ahead. So you gotta be careful about the perception of someone catching up. Fox says, sure, nearly every tech project has a Chinese alternative. 4, 2, 4, 3. 4, 4 Skyland. 5, 1 Northport. 5, 2 Twin Town. 5, 3 Mush. 5, 4 Horwood. 5, 5 Solitude. 5, 4 4, 3 2, 5 1, 1. Great. And one more. So the Chinese, among other announcements, which you wouldn't see in Chinese, have been working hard on developing phones. Yeah, they have. They have. I mean, the Chinese brands have largely been looking at low-cost phones. Junction 1-1. Oh, hey. And so the Chinese brands see much greater market penetration in developing countries. Or even like on American farms. Even Chinese cars are getting up there. Yeah, no, they're getting there. So, like, you know how American farmers hire undocumented workers? So to communicate with the workers in the field, they need like phones, right? So they would supply cheap Chinese phones to the undocumented workers working on the farms, so they can coordinate the agriculture work. And which makes sense because you're not gonna give these guys iPhones. They're just like below minimum wage illegal workers harvesting your crops for you. Anyway, everything's messed up. Everything is messed up in America. So they buy Chinese phones for these workers out in the fields. 1-1 North Station, right. Big branch 3-4 done. Alright, cool. Oh, okay. So how much have you dug out all the branches, or have you just dug out that one? I need to... Well, I guess I have one more station and then come back and do junctions. So the Chinese, their plan is to develop a technology. That one part of the loop and the shortest branch. Okay. Well, I'll get back there and do junctions probably quite soon. The Chinese plan to go high tech. That's the next thing they're gonna do. So, like, fair warning. Fair warning to anyone who might be concerned, right? Self-driving cars, alternative energy vehicles is what they call it. Mostly electric, I guess, but also hydrogen, possibly. They're partnering with Germany to open some R&D labs. As we said, they've got Tesla opening a factory there. They're working on quantum computers. There's a rabbit in the way. Alright, buttons. I wonder if the Americans really will manage to screw Tesla. One, two, three, four, five. Two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, he's not stupid. He'll just move to China. Like, yeah, no, he already has a way. I'm not worried about Musk. I'm feeling a little bit sorry for the Americans. Because he'll literally just move to China. And the Chinese will benefit. That's the wrong one. Is it their fault though? Whose fault? I feel like a lot of ordinary Americans or like poor Americans are being manipulated by the rich. Being given stupid ideas by their media and being convinced to act in ways that are quite harmful to themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Two, three. I mean, I feel like it's not entirely fair to say it's the fault of people who don't even understand what's going on. I don't know how to process. Sure, but Americans chose Trump. Yeah, but like, you know, like if people lie to you, and because of those lies, you make a mistake, and then it's like, well, you made the mistake. It's you chose to make that mistake. You really? Is it though? You know what I mean? It kind of is, kind of isn't. I mean, sure, you were gullible, but you were lied to as well. What that is true, Wesley. And to be fair, most Americans also knew, right? I mean, Trump didn't get the majority of votes. He did get enough votes to win, is the problem. And it didn't help that Clinton wasn't all that appealing. But yeah, I mean, even the majority of people who voted knew. It's just that the system has been rigged so much that the guy with fewer votes can actually win. That's due to cough democracy cough. One wonders whether the Americans still have a democracy, to be honest. I mean, it's most days it doesn't exactly resemble a democracy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, okay, I mean, to be fair, there was a time about 70 years ago, about 70 years ago when the Germans were lied to by a different guy, and that ended up disastrously. I mean, it's not just the Americans who get duped every now and then, to be fair. How do societies get to this point? But then the rest of the world didn't see that coming either, says Wesley. I wonder... I mean, some people saw it coming, Wesley. You're right that a lot of people didn't see it coming. Because he wasn't harmful at first. Well, he wasn't... I'm pretty sure he was harmful to some people from the very start. I think the Jews knew from the very start. Like, and Europe thought they had Germany in hand. Yeah, well, yeah. You know, some people think they have Trump in hand too. Trump doesn't have himself in hand. I mean, yeah, but unfortunately he does have access to a lot of dangerous toys. Like nuclear weapons.